LMI, we only use techniques that are effective, and the only way to demonstrate what techniques are effective and which ones aren't effective, we need a tool that can show immediate results. So here at LMI, we go through and we use the No Lie Blade training blade. This one here is a double edge. And what this is it's a aluminum training blade that is felt tipped on both edges, and I have primed these edges with lipstick. So if the blade comes in contact with myself, it's going to leave a deep red mark that will simulate an actual knife attack, telling me that my technique was either too slow or not effective. As you can go through and see, there was 3 cuts and I think it's jab to my chest. This is what the No Lie Blade shows us. I'm going to be attacked by my assistant, and I'm going to attempt to draw my pistol and shoot and stop the attacker. And for safety purposes, we are using KWA airsoft pistols. They are not real pistols.
Hey, you got the time, man?
Yeah, it's
As you can see, he has multiple wounds, cuts and slices everywhere, and this is just a normal street attack. This is not an attacker who has trained with a blade before. This is just somebody wailing on you, cutting left and right. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cuts and slices throughout his body. There's also a mark across his face and a little bit on his pelvic region here.
Now, sometime during that ordeal, at the very end, I was able to press the trigger twice, but the idea there is I don't think the attacker was in the line of the bullets. A lot of schools nowadays, what they're telling the student to do is, as you're being attacked, to raise your hand up or punch the attacker, and while you're doing so, be backing up, present your pistol, and engage the target. Well, that's great on a square range when your targets aren't moving, but in real life, your attacker, chances are your attacker is either charging at you or he's running at you. Attackers on the street do not stand still.
Hey man, let me see what time it is.
Yeah, it's forget!
As you can see, he is covered with marks across the back of his neck, shoulder, rib cage and pelvic region, across the front of his chest, one right across his stomach, across the bottom of his neck area, so it looks like the attacker was headed for the neck. Not a good thing to be covered in blood right now.
So again, I presented out, but the whole time, again, on the street, attackers are very fast. They don't stand still like a target on a square range. The idea of blocking your attacker, stopping your attacker, where you step back and engage with a pistol,
it's not going to work.
May not be the best option. And I know a lot of schools out there tell you that it is the best option when you're being attacked. Well, even though I may have planted 1 or 2 shots into my attacker, that may or may not have stopped the attacker, but it did stop me. Okay, now we'll do it again. Same scenario, same attack, but instead of concentrating too much on getting my pistol out or my blade deployed, I will address the situation and stop the attack the way the LMI teaches.
Putting full force, all your 100% into these hands to take down the attack. Hey man, how you doing? You got the time?
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock. Let's go. Stay down! Stay down! Anytime you face somebody with a edged weapon, chances are you're going to get cut. Maybe once, maybe twice. But you have to try to limit how many times you get cut and then the severity of those cuts. I was able to stop the attacker. I received, what I received?
That's probably one and a half. It might have been a hit and then the full slice right to the chest. And I don't see anywhere else on the body that was hit. Nope, no more marks, nothing on the arms.
So basically 2 cuts. The attacker was stopped. He was still under my control, so if he continued his attack or continued to try to fight or run, I was at a position to dominate the attacker and stop the attack from either continuing on me or somebody else. We just showed you 3 attacks, 3 different reactions to those attacks. The first 2 attacks, chances are I bled to death and I died. The third attack gave me the possibility to go to the ER, get stitched up, and go home to my friends and family. A lot of people on the streets nowadays, a lot of instructors and a lot of students, they have this understanding that when you're attacked, that the pistol is my magic talisman, and 1 or 2 shots in the chest of a bad guy is going to immediately stop the attack. Well, it's kind of like deer hunting. If you go out and you shoot a deer in the heart, sometimes that deer will stop right in its tracks. Sometimes that deer runs back in the woods 50, 60 yards or further, and the hunter has to go back and track the deer. The same scenario on the streets. The guy on the streets who's drugged up, or he just doesn't want to go to prison, or he just determined to hurt you, 1 or 2 well-placed shots in the chest may not stop the attacker. You have to control the attack. You need to stop the attacker with whatever means you need. You need to immediately react without remorse and simply stop the attack. That's what we go through and we teach here at LMI. The techniques are gross motor skills, simple to learn, very effective, and basically we train you to go home at the end of the night.
As you can see, we've used No Lie Blade training blades, the best training blade in the world. Will show wherever your attacker is cut, so when you're practicing these techniques in class while you're training, you can understand the mentality behind it and if you're going to get cut, where you're going to get cut, and how severe that cut is.